Title: The Echo of the Redwoods. Act I: Whispers in the Valley. The California sun filtered through the imposing redwoods of Yosemite National Park, painting the sandy path where Amelia and Ethan met. Amelia, a free-spirited photographer with an untamed brown mane and hazel eyes that captured the light like amber, was absorbed in the majestic beauty from a 100-year-old tree. Ethan, an architect with strong hands and a calm, deep blue gaze, accidentally tripped over his tripod. The impact, although slight, was enough to break for the silence of the forest. Ethan's apologies were clumsy but sincere, and Amelia's crystalline laughter at seeing his embarrassed expression broke the tension. They exchanged names, and a brief with conversation about the park's magic flowed between them like the gentle murmur of the nearby Merced River. Amelia had come to Yosemite seeking inspiration for her next exhibition, a homage to the untamed nature of America. Ethan, for his part, was escaping the bustle of San Francisco and the pressure of a crucial architectural project. Both found in the serenity of the valley a respite and desperado, and in the chance encounter an incipient spark. During the following days, their paths crossed repeatedly. They shared walks under the shade of the pines, contemplated sunsets, series that set fire to the sky over Half Dome, and they talked for hours next to crackling bonfires. Amelia discovered Ethan's passion for creating spaces that harmonized with the environment, his vision of buildings that breathed and integrated with the landscape. Ethan was captivated by the way Amelia saw the world through her lens, her ability to capture the fleeting essence of a moment. One night, sitting on a smooth rock by the river, Ethan told Amelia about his childhood in a small coastal town in Maine, about his dream of building an art school that would foster the creativity and respect for nature. Amelia, in turn, shared her own ambitions, her desire that her photographs not only be beautiful but also inspire awareness regarding the fragility of the planet. The connection between them deepened with each conversation, each shared glance. The physical attraction was undeniable, but what truly united them was an affinity, in spirit, a tacit understanding of their deepest desires. Under the starry mantle of Yosemite, their first kiss was a soft whisper, a silent promise of something more. However, the reality, I was waiting for them at the end of their stay in the park. Amelia had commitments in Santa Fe, where her gallery was located, and Ethan had to return to San Francisco to present his project. The farewell was agridolce, marked by the uncertainty of how to keep alive the magic that they had found in that enchanted valley. They exchanged phone numbers and the promise to keep in contact, but the shadow of doubt hovered over their hearts. Act II: Letters and Memories. The weeks that followed their meeting in Yosemite were filled with late-night phone calls and emails, icos loaded with longing. Amelia sent Ethan photographs of the landscapes of New Mexico, the earthy colors and vibrant light that inspired her art. Ethan told her about the advances and the setbacks. He shared details of his architectural project, sharing sketches and plans that Amelia observed with admiration. Despite the distance, their connection strengthened through written and spoken words. They planned a reunion at a midpoint, a weekend on the Big Sur coast, where the waves crashed against the steep cliffs and the fog danced among the cypress trees. The end of the week in Big Sur was a whirlwind of emotions. They walked along windswept coastal trails, dined in small restaurants overlooking the ocean, and huddled by the fireplace of his cabin, talking about their dreams and fears. The intensity of their feelings became undeniable, and both allowed themselves to believe in the possibility of a relationship despite the distance. However, life had its own plans. Ethan's project faced unexpected complications, bureaucratic delays, and disagreements with investors. The pressure began to affect his spirits, and the calls became less frequent, emails shorter. Amelia, for her part, was facing the organization of her exhibition, an exhausting process that completely consumed her. From a distance, which at first seemed like a surmountable obstacle, began to feel like a growing abyss. Insecurities surfaced. Amelia wondered if Ethan's passion had cooled with the difficulties of his work. Ethan feared that Amelia's free spirit could not adapt to the routine and responsibilities of her city life. A misunderstanding, a telephone conversation, a relationship laden with stress and lack of communication opened a crack in their relationship. Hurtful words were said with the speed of lightning, leaving behind a cold and dense silence. The calls, they completely ceased, the emails went unanswered. The echo of the redwoods, which had once resonated with promises of love, now seemed a distant lament. Amelia plunged into his work, the lens of his camera as a shield against pain. His photographs became more somber, capturing the melancholy of desolate landscapes. Ethan locked himself in his studio, the frustrat. The reflection of his project is reflected in the angular strokes of his designs. Months passed without contact. The memory of their time together became a painful treasure, a bittersweet melody that resonaba in moments of solitude. Both silently wondered if they had made an irreparable mistake, if the fire they had lit in Yosemite had been extinguished forever. Act 3. The P. Source of the Memories. 1 year after their separation, Amelia received an unexpected invitation. It was the inauguration of the Sequoia School of Art and Nature, the project that Ethan had dreamed of. On the banks of the Merced River. The invitation was formal, but Amelia recognized the familiar handwriting on the envelope. Doubt assailed her. Should she go? Could she face Ethan after so long, after the unspoken words and the broken hearts? Her friend and gallery owner, Olivia, encouraged her to go. "Sometimes, Amelia," she said in her soft but firm voice, "we need to close circles, even if they hurt." With her heart beating with a mixture of anticipation and fear, Amelia traveled back to California. The landscape had changed slightly with the seasons, but the majesty of the sequoia, was still the same. Upon arriving at the school, located in a tranquil clearing near the park entrance, she felt overwhelmed with emotion. The building was just as Ethan had described it, that wooden and glass structure that integrated perfectly with the environment. Natural light flooded the studios, and from the windows one could contemplate the tops of the centenary trees. The materialization of her dream, a testimony of her perseverance. Amelia moved among the crowd of guests, feeling a little out of place. She saw Ethan in the distance, thinner perhaps, but he looked with the same intense gaze that he remembered. He was surrounded by people, answering questions and accepting congratulations. Finally, their eyes met. For an instant, time stopped. The multitude around them vanished, and only the two of them remained, separated by distance but united by an unforgettable memory. Ethan excused himself and approached her. There was a mixture of surprise and something deeper in his face upon seeing her. "Amelia," he said her name like a soft exhalation. "Ethan," she replied, her voice barely a whisper. The silence that followed was not uncomfortable, but laden of everything that had not been said during the last year. Finally, Ethan invited her to take a walk through the school gardens. While they walked among the young trees that had been planted around the building, they spoke. They spoke of the challenges they had faced, of the mistakes they had made, of how pride and fear had prevented them from bridging the distancia. Ethan told him about the difficulties of his project, how it had almost collapsed several times, and how the school's vision, and the memory of the inspiration that Amelia had given him in Yosemite, they had kept it standing. Amelia told him about her exhibition, about the success she had had, but also about the emptiness she had felt without him to share it. Slowly, cautiously, she began to reconstruct the bridge that they had knocked down. It wasn't easy. There were wounds to heal, words to forgive. But under the protective shadow of the sequoias, in the place where their history had begun in Zato, they found the will to try again. Act 4. The Echo Persists. The months that followed were marked by frequent trips between Santa Fe and Yosemite. Amelia and Ethan learned in navigating the difficulties of a long-distance relationship, supporting each other in their careers, and celebrating each reunion as a precious gift. Amelia began to photograph Ethan's school, capturing the beauty of its design and the creative energy of the students. His photographs became an integral part of the school's promotion, a testament to the shared vision, that now united them. Ethan, in turn, traveled to Santa Fe for the openings of Amelia's new exhibitions, admiring her talent and passion. He became her biggest admirer and a support constant in his life. One day, during a visit by Amelia to Yosemite, Ethan took her back to the place where they had met, under the shade of the ancient tree. He knelt and offered her a simple ring, made of carved redwood and a small jade stone he had found in the Merced River. "Amelia," he said with a trembling voice, "from the moment I saw you here, that there was something special between us. We made mistakes, we let distance separate us, but my love for you never disappeared. Would you like to build a future with me, here, where everything.com, Enzo?" Tears ran down Amelia's cheeks as she nodded, her heart overflowing with joy. The echo of the redwoods, which had once seemed a lament, now resonated with a promise. Of eternal love. They married in a small outdoor ceremony in the school gardens, surrounded by their loved ones and the silent majesty of the trees. Their story, which had started with a casual stumble and a spark in nature, it had overcome distance and drama to blossom into a deep and lasting love. Together, they continued pursuing their dreams, They mutually supported each other every step of the way. The Sequoia School of Art and Nature became a beacon of creativity and environmental awareness, reflecting Ethan and Amelia's shared vision. And Amelia's photographs, inspired by her love and the beauty of the world around them, continued inspiring others to appreciate the fragility and wonder of our planet. The echo of the dry. Yes, the whisper of the wind among the centuries-old leaves became the symbol of their love, a constant reminder that even after the storm, beauty and connection can endure. Her story demonstrated that true love can overcome distance and drama as long as there is a willingness to listen to the echo of the heart. End.